Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be giving you guys my record prediction for the Washington Commanders in the 2022 NFL season. We are going to go week by week with my predictions for each game. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Also make sure to hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Also check out Real Time Fantasy Sports. So last year, the Washington Commanders went 7-10, 2 years in a row with a 7-win season. But if you compare last year to this year, it's very, very different. Last year, the Commanders had the hardest schedule in the NFL. This year, they have the easiest, or one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They also have better, definitely a better quarterback than last year. I like Heineke as a backup, but Wentz is clearly an upgrade over Heineke. And last year, they had like the worst possible timing for the injuries right after the winning streak when they were 6-6, I believe. That's when all the injuries started, pile up, and it really, really hurt the Commanders. So let's start off week by week going into my predictions. So week one, Jaguars, I think they definitely should win this game, and I think they will win this game. Week one, at home, Carson Wentz, kind of not really a revenge game from him, but like kind of, because he lost that game. The Colts lost that game to if they would have won, obviously they would have went to the playoffs, and it wasn't just Wentz's fault, but he feels like it was partly his fault. So he definitely wants to redeem himself, get that win, and help the Commanders start off 1-0. And it'll be the first game for Doug Peterson and the Jaguars, so it might be a little bit of an adjustment period. So it's not going to be a super easy game, but a game they definitely should win. Next week, this is a game where I think it's going to be harder than most people think, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders lost, because the Lions, play hard under Dan Campbell. Jared Goff isn't a terrible QB. He's not great, but he's he's below average, but he's not terrible. They got some good pieces: DeAndre Swift, T.J. Hawkinson, Jameson Williams. I don't think he'll be playing by then. Not sure though. We will see. They obviously got Aiden Hutchinson and some other pieces as well. So they're going to be competitive this year. I would say like 6, 7, maybe even 8 wins. Probably that's a little bit pushing it, but maybe 6, 7 wins for the Lions this year. And, it's not going to be at home, but I still think the Commanders should win this game. That'll have them starting off 2-0. Next week, going into week 3 at home, FedEx Field against the Eagles. I'm going to have the Commanders winning this one, starting the season off 3-0. And I know a lot of people in the comments section that are not Commanders fan, or even some Commanders fans, are going to say you're crazy. But I think we'll split against the Eagles this year. I think, at home, you have a much better shot. It'll be, another revenge game for Carson Wentz. It won't be at Philly, but it'll still be against his former team, some of his former teammates. So definitely he's going to get amped up for that one. And, the Eagles, I think they're going to be solid this year. I think they're a little overhyped. Last year they kind of a 2020 Commanders season where they played really well the second half of the year, and it was against really bad teams, really bad QBs. So I think the Eagles are going to be solid, but not like 12-plus wins like some people think. Next week, week 5, I believe that's what it is. I have the Commanders losing, or I think that's week 4, sorry. I have the Commanders losing to the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be at Dallas. The Cowboys are a really solid team. I think they're a little bit worse than they were last year, but still, they are a really solid team, and I don't think the Commanders will win this one. It's going to be hard for them to win that, so that puts them at 3-1, and then they go to the Titans, or actually it's going to be at home against the Titans. This is a game that's winnable, even though the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. Ryan Tannehill's all right. They lost A.J. Brown. They have Derrick Henry, and this is going to be a tough game. Definitely a winnable game. I'm just not going to have us winning this game. I'm going to have the, Titans winning this game. It's going to be a close one. 3-2. This will put the Commanders at 3-2 after 5 weeks. So they start off hot, winning, the first 3 games, but they've lost the last 2. Then you go to week 6. I think this is a Thursday night game at Soldier Field. I have the Commanders winning this one. I don't think the Chicago Bears are a great team. I don't think Justin Fields is that good. And not only that, he has terrible receivers around him, one of the worst receiving cores ever, and also does not have a good offensive line. Running backs okay, tight ends okay. So I don't think he's in a good position to succeed. The defense is They lost Khalil Mack. I do not think the Bears will be good this year. Could be in the top 5. Probably will be picking top 5 in the draft next year. So I think that should be a win for the Commanders. Next week against the Green Bay Packers. This is a tough one because the Commanders are actually really good against the Packers at home. I believe Aaron Rodgers has not won in FedEx Field. I think that's a stat. But I still have the Commanders losing this one. This is a really tough game against Aaron Rodgers, and they did lose Devontae Adams and some other pieces. They still got Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to be hard for the Commanders to win this one. So I have them losing this one, so that puts them at 4-3, I believe. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4-3 right there. Then they go to Colts Week 8 at Indianapolis. This is the revenge game for Carson Wentz. He's going to be amped up, but I have them losing this game to the Colts. They are a really solid team. Got Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson, DeForest Buckner. They got some really, really solid Michael Pittman. They got some really solid pieces right there, Ryan Kelly. So I think it's going to be a tough game, but the Commanders are going to end up losing it. So it puts them at 4-4. Then they come back to FedEx Field to play Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. That this is a blackout game. I have the Commanders winning this game. I was debating. I was saying they're going to split these two, the Colts and the Vikings, and I was debating which one. But since the Commanders game's home, I'm just going to have them winning that game. So I believe that puts them at 5-4 on the season. So definitely still competing for a wild card spot, and who knows, maybe a division spot as well. So now you go next week against the Eagles. I have them losing this game. I said they would split, so that's where there are 5-5 on the year. So, it's going to be a tough game. The Eagle, at Philly. I think this is a Monday night game, so yeah, I have them losing this game. Next week, Texans. The Texans I don't think are going to be good. I like Davis Mills and I like some of the pieces that they have. That they drafted Derek Stingley, but I have the Commanders winning this game, putting them at 6-5. Not scared of the Texans at all. Then you go to the Falcons. This is probably the easiest game, on the schedule in my opinion. At home against the Falcons could be Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder. I do not care who it is at QB. They should win this game. The Falcons have one of the worst rosters in all of football, and it's going to be at home. The Commanders absolutely should win this game. Whoever, I think it's hopefully Carson Wentz is still playing QB, but if somehow he's hurt, then Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, whoever it is, they're beating the Falcons. They better beat the Falcons. So that puts them at 7-5. Then this is kind of a trap game for me. I don't even know if we're good enough to say trap game, but I have them losing against the Giants at home, at MetLife. So, I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for that in the comments, but the Giants always play us tough. Last year we swept them, but almost every other year before we got swept. So don't want to get too confident yet. So I'm going to have us at 7-6. And the Giants, who knows? They could be playing Daniel Jones, could be Tyrod Taylor at the moment. And, they're not going to be great, but, they're not. I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last year. I think they'll probably be around 6 wins this year. Then you go at FedEx Field. I definitely think the Commanders will at least win one out of these two, could be 2, but I'm going to have them win this game right here. Puts them at 8-6 on the season. Pretty much the same thing as I said before. I think they'll split or win 2, so that puts them at 8-6. And this is kind of my surprise game. Always should have one game on the schedule you think, that they should win, that they lose, and one game that you think they should lose that they win. That always happens every single year. There's a big upset where the Commanders beat someone they shouldn't, and there's always a game that they lose that they shouldn't lose. So 49ers are my team that I think we can upset. Christmas Eve, Trey Lance, we'll see. He'll probably be playing at this point, but they're going to have Jimmy G more likely than not. This is a pre-recorded video, so who knows by this when it's posted if Jimmy G is still on the 49ers. But I think the Commanders can win this game. They've had some, they won the last time against 49ers, even though Jimmy G wasn't playing. I think it was Nick Mullins. The Commanders still, I think, could beat the 49ers. And yeah, that's my upset game of the year for the Commanders. I have them losing against the Browns. But again, this is where it could change. Pre-recorded. So if Deshaun Watson's suspended for a year, I'll have them winning this game and maybe losing against the 49ers. Who knows? And then the last game of the season, Week 18 against the Dallas Cowboys. Could be a win or go home game for the Commanders. And I'm going to have them winning this game, which puts them at 10-7 on the year. I was debating between 9-8 and 10-7. I'm going to be optimistic and put 10-7, but before the season starts, I'll post like my actual prediction, just the win total, because I'm hoping they sign another linebacker, because at this moment it's just Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, David Mayo, and Khaleke Hudson. So hopefully they can get, maybe AJ Klein in there. And then also if Deshaun Watson gets suspended, I have that for the whole year. I have that as a W, because right now it's 6 games, but the NFL is appealing it, and it could be 1 year plus. So if that's the case, I have the Commanders winning that game right there, and then losing the game against the 49ers, but that'll put them at 10-7. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.